So it's nice because also like they can leave at any time. Like that area is even open and there's like hay in there usually. So if she decided to leave, she can just go.
So wait, are you saying this barrier here makes them feel more safe, or?
No, it kind of just is like to send them on like a correct circle, but without having a rope on them, and it also creates like the size that you're looking for.
Yes.
Which you could teach it all without this, but it would be way harder and more confusing for the horse to like get the size, because typically like you're lunging them on like a 20-meter circle or so.
Let me just show you what lunging looks like.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what it looks like, and I think that'll help.
I'm not experienced with horses.
Oh, yeah,
at all.
If you like see the comparison, I think it'll help explain it. This is amazing. Thank you, Shelby. I'm
Harlow's
excited.
An ex-racehorse, so she had a very stressful life when I got her. She tried to.
You're so beautiful.
When I first got her.
Oh
She was like special seeing them like go from shutdown to like actually.
Oh, sorry. I know. My bad, Harlow.
Yeah, I know.
Not so close. She said.
No, and she also, her favorite spot of all of them, she's gonna pick me, is like her teats. Like she freaking loves like her belly being scratched. But she like lifts her leg up sideways and then like
There we go,
that.
yep.
They are dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not, but
Gigantic
they're.
dogs.
They are.
There's a
Like,
lot of overlap for sure.
yeah, no, there's so much similarities. Like I think the really crucial difference is that they're just big. They're like a very cowardly dog.
Yeah.
Like the most
Skittish dog.
cowardly dog you could encounter.
Yeah.
But like I think more so than even dogs, like since they're supposed to eat the amount of food that they are like constantly, like feeding them food and training makes more sense, because it's like dogs, if you're feeding them how much you feed horses, like that would be a problem. But like you can feed them like probably like 10 pounds of, like if you buy the right food, like 10 pounds of food in a session, and they're gonna be fine because they're supposed to be eating food all the time.
Yeah.
So it's actually more natural for them to just keep eating, even in training, right, Harlow?
Oh, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, I use the tiniest
blow up
treats
like a balloon.
with dogs.
Yeah, no, it's funny because
The foraging animal.
Yeah, what's the
She
emotional
is
state here? What's
so
going on?
pretty.
she's a little bit up. I'd like her to be calmer, but she
Okay.
also hasn't been out in a while, so she's a little bit excited. And like with horses, the change in weather and stuff really affects them when it gets colder. Like
Okay.
this. Oh, and that's gonna probably, yeah, what is he doing? It's okay.
Awesome.
It's okay. He's just kind of fine. So then, like, now that I know she's feeling stressed,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just try to keep her moving a little bit unless she wants to stop and look. But right now it's like she's probably gonna have a harder time staying still because she's not feeling
Yeah.
super good.
Adjusting your criteria.
Good girl. Good girl. Well, the annoying thing with horses kind of is like when they are more elevated, they tend to move better and like look more beautiful. So a lot of people try to get that.
Okay.
Well, that depends on your idea of what looks
Yeah.
beautiful, right?
Well, and like with the dressage horses and stuff, all of the movements they're teaching, technically speaking, it's okay. Good girl, it's okay. Technically speaking, they're all natural movements that horses will do, but it's always in context of like a stallion defending their band, or like preparing to fight, or like playing, or doing something that's like high energy and like not something that they do in a relaxed state usually.
Okay.
I feel like their head up versus down is a really good example.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like as soon as she gets nervous, her head shoots way up and she freezes. So like this posture here for her is great.
Yeah. What's that?
See how her head is like stretched down
Yeah,
to the
I've
ground?
been noticing that, and I'm wondering. Yeah, I don't. What
But
is
she
that?
is, if
that
you look at her eye now, it was really nice and soft and rounded, and now when she looks over there, sometimes you can see a little crinkle, like a peak above the eye.
Yeah.
And it's because she's not as relaxed now as she was at the beginning.
Okay.
Because there's more stuff going on. Good girl. Good girl. But then she's starting to wind down a little. And also, like, the little snorting sound she's making is a little bit of, like...
She has a heart under her.
Yeah, she does.
That's really cool.
I know, she's so
Did you
pretty.
notice the heart?
Yeah.
Yeah, her nose marking, like the little white there, it's only seasonal. It only comes up on her winter coat. You can't see it otherwise. so she looks different from winter to summer.
Aw, her winter form.
And so is this something she'll do all day, or does she have like a limit where she's like, all right, I'm mentally
I
like,
usually
I
only
need a
do
break?
like 25 to 30 minutes, and then I'll like kind of sometimes change it up and take the target stick and like wander around with her. And then she ran like 1 year here, did really terribly, and then just like then the trainer that had her just gave her to me for free because she just wanted to get rid of her.
Okay.
And they know me at the track. Like I used to work there and I used to gallop the racehorses, so I'm familiar with like what they go through. And I also saw her, and my friend actually used to work as a groom with her, so she knew what her life was like pretty intimately. And like she was just really like she didn't like being touched at all because like she never got any autonomy or consent. So like even in theory, if it was a touch that she would like under other circumstances, she hated it. And she was just like I have a photo of her actually, of her face at the racetrack, and you can just kind of compare it to like how smiling girl, and you can
That's
compare
cute.
it to like how soft it looks now.
You got
like,
that shot. That
Yeah.
was adorable. Yeah.
That was pretty tight.
it's like,
I'm getting Harlow close-ups. I
Can
think
we
she
try
knows
this
it.
again?
She's like, I'm beautiful. These people think
Oh,
I'm beautiful.
yeah, she's like, I just try
Isn't
to
she
do
so
that.
cute?
They're so easy to follow.
See?
So like
with,
yeah,
aren't
this
they?
photo's
Told
like
you they're
her
cute.
at the racetrack,
Okay.
and there's like tension lines down her face.
Ah,
and her eyes really
yes.
wide,
Look
and,
at that.
Yeah, so she's like much different now, and like it's sad because like I wish I took more footage of her when she was freaking out initially, but like
Well, but that's what I was curious about, because racehorses are notorious for being controlled with aversive control.
yeah,
Yes.
oh, it's highly aversive.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you've had to like regain the trust in
Yeah.
humans, and I mean that's phenomenal.
Well, and like to some extent, you can't like avoid some level of aversive when they're starting out, because if you're
Sure.
leading them and they scoot forward and hit the end of the lead rope, they're gonna hit the end and then it's gonna hurt them. But like,
But you're not
yeah.
intending
No,
to
exactly.
deliver that. That's the difference.
And like how
right?
they handle them is like I can't show you the equipment because no one here would have it, but they'd like put like a chain over their nose and it would
Okay.
sit like right on the soft cartilage of their nose. Or when they're really bad, they put it against their gums, and then that's what the rope is attached to. So if they're being bad, all of the pressure that is being applied is going directly on the gum line. So for her, like the sound of a chain, if she hears like a chain lead rope, she does not like it and she'll panic. And then like they would do stuff like that for like regular procedures too, like just trimming their feet. And so she has like this, I have it in my hand, I'm getting it. So she has like this track record of having like very like pain compliance, where it's like very all about that, because she actually developed like a neurological issue where she would just like have uncontrollable head shaking, and like initially we thought it was caused by like photosensitivity, but then I started noticing that she was doing it even in the dark, and it would be like, it's okay, little things, like if like a fly touched her nose or she bumped her nose up against something, she'd like snap back like it hurt and then start going like this. And like my vet gave her like a medication that was supposed to help if it was neurological. It didn't do anything. So then I started approaching it from like assuming like, okay, like I can feel along the top of like her neck where like the nuchal ligament is, and like that ligament is like why they're so strong and why they can eat with their head down all the time and just snap it back up and like move the way they can. And like it's a very important ligament, but hers was like so tight, and I was like, I wonder if she has like nerve impingement and it's causing like headaches or something. Because the equipment that they used at the track, like when she was getting ridden, the bridle they had, had a metal bit that goes in her mouth, but it was one that has longer shanks, and like when you're pulling on them, the shanks rotate and create a leverage point, and they pulled the top of the bridle right against like the crown of their head. So I thought from that she probably had like chronic tension and potentially damage, because the amount that these horses pull to try to get away and like how strong they are, like they're applying so much pressure to like their mouths and the top of their head, depending on how the equipment works, and it's like an astronomical, like they're so strong. The fittest I've ever been in my life was when I was galloping racehorses, because like they're trying to run like a lot of them are trying to run away from you the whole time, because there's this perspective that like the more a horse pulls and the more wired they are, the better they run. And I don't agree with that at all. I think if you taught them to go around calmly and you treated it like a sprinter going for jogs and like doing training like that,
Okay.
and not holding that tension, I think they'd actually run better, because like she's so fast. Like I think she could have done better than she did, but she got let down on every turn at the track, because
Right.
and it's like just not fun anymore. She likes to run. Like I've galloped her at the beach and stuff, but
Is positive reinforcement racehorsing a thing?
No.
It isn't. I
No,
didn't
you'll
think
get made
so.
fun of. You'll get I did have some people when I was working there that I
Sad.
asked them if I could start to do things.
Okay.
And and some of them were open to it. So with some of them I did. But like even with the starting gates, like they chase them into those tiny little boxes and like they give them like 3 seconds when they're learning how before they start getting after them. And I'm like, if you did this with food rewards, you'd probably get them all in consistently and they'd be doing so well. If you did, and it would take less time overall. Like initially they'd feel like it would take more time because some horses are really easy to bully into compliance, but for the ones that aren't, like it would just there'd be less accidents because like when they're scared they'll have their jockeys on them and they'll flip themselves over in those tiny little boxes, and then now suddenly you're a jockey on the ground underneath the horse in like a tiny little box. So I wish they did. Like I started one racehorse under saddle using positive reinforcement, and like she ended up being like the quietest horse at the track and was like really easy to handle and stuff. So I was like, and they did do one art.
Yes. Can I get her to run?
Yeah. So for canter, yeah, just do like a fake horse gallop. Canter.
You have to keep doing your body language.
I know. I don't
He's
want
too
to
excited.
Wait for her to come back to you, and then you can start trying. Actually, do canter this way. This is the easier direction.
that seems right.
Okay, yeah. Then if you do it now, she'll probably do it. She's freaking ready to go. Canter.
Yeah.
Wow, holy cow, Harlow.
Is that bad?
No, she's just a little. Like in some ways, it's not always a bad thing. Is if they do need to like have that energy release and they're doing it in a controlled way where they're not like running you over and like whatnot. So for her, because see how she's still looking over there, she keeps turning and then walking back and forth.
Yeah. Remember that video of Dude in the Mud?
Oh yeah, I did see that one.
And then this is Banksy.
Hi Banksy.
After the artist?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think.
he's just got such a loud face.
He does.
Also, like,
It's okay to just go up to them and pet them like that, or do
Yeah.
you need to let them see who
They're
you are?
usually pretty good. Like if they don't want to be touched, they'll kind of move their head away. Like a lot of people go right for the face,
Right.
and most horses don't like the face. He likes it.
Oh, okay.
Like he really likes the top of his head being like
Okay.
scratched, so he likes it. But a lot of the other horses don't love their face being touched, so I just like kind of let them bring their nose over, smell,
I see.
and like
Yeah, right.
he's like, I don't really care right now. I'm just concerned about the food. And they're really clear with their expressions.
Yeah,
Like,
so,
let's
like-
see if I do something that kind of irritates him. He doesn't like it when I just watch because he doesn't like when I touch his tail
Bree,
and
this
stuff.
is the one that I think he will fall in love with.
Yeah, or
This
Beauty.
little one here.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she's super sweet and friendly.
No, they'll pin their ears back and just kind of make like a face when they're not
Okay.
having it, but
Sure.
or you itchy here. And they
It's like, wait, go right there actually.
where? There.
You're very handsome, Banksy.
Thank you. Second. It's like okay, I'm done. Yeah, no, he's a good guy.
And so do you both do training? Or
No. Well, she helps, but
Okay.
she doesn't do. Yeah. She's been with him less than she's so itchy. They basically, but I don't want to tell her off when I'm standing.
And like horses, the wild horses here in North America, yeah? I mean, they're from Europe, brought over
Yeah.
here. Is that true?
Technically, they're feral, so like when
Okay.
I still
Right.
say wild 'cause it's like they lived in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wild since birth. But
Yeah.
like technically they're feral because they're not like a species that was like meant to be here. They're technically like an invasive species.
What's their closest relative in the wild? Like zebras? Or
No,
There's gotta be
actually
something.
they're closer to domesticated horses because like they're from like the Spanish Inquisition, like all the escaped war horses.
Przewalski's horse.
They're different. They also have done testing on those because they thought those were the last remaining true wild horse.
Yeah.
And they found like through genetic
Okay.
testing that they're not, but they're considered feral now, which is really interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
so
they're-
I guess what I'm getting at is like, where are, because we don't have wild horses that aren't introduced by people anywhere. Is that true or not?
I think so. Like I think that the Przewalskis, they thought that they were because they've been like.
Honestly, he backward drags everything. It's
Okay, fine, I'll take it.
I think he's not a sitter.
He
not
like
gonna
crouches.
He looks like a lie downer.
He does like to down, yeah.
One, he'll like hover like slightly above the ground where he's not in a
Oh
full
yeah,
flat.
like a cheating, the cheating.
Yeah.
Good man, ready?
His impulse control is not so good with like he'll reach for the ball.
But I mean, we have more people here too, and it's exciting, so he's gonna be less good than he would be.
Right. Yep. A lot of people don't realize that. Of course you do.
He's
with my grandkids because they're 3 and 4.
He's been so good.
He's so good with them, but the only thing, and they love to throw the ball for him.
Oh, because that's a
is-
lot of dog for a
Oh,
3-year-old.
Yeah, but he's so good with them. The only thing that ever happened was where they would pick up the ball, and I said, you always have to tell him, leave it. You have to say, wait.
Yeah.
Love your shirt, by the way. Just
Oh, yeah.
What? Oh, yeah. Oh, nice.
How old's Phoebe?
She's 6.
6 years old.
Yeah, she just had like her TPLO surgery last year, and she unfortunately has hip dysplasia,
Oh, baby.
so she's kind of a mess.
Well,
But
she looks like you can't tell by looking at her.
yeah,
Although,
sometimes how she sits, but like she